Why crawl when you can fly? My deepest welcome to all the listeners and viewers of our channel. Maulana Rumi, also known as Jalaluddin Muhammad Rumi, was a Persian poet not only of mind or heart, he was a poet of soul. Born on 30th September 1207 and died on December 1273 in the city of Balkh in Afghanistan. At that time, it was the cultural hub of poetry and Sufism. Now it's called Tajikistan. From his childhood, he demonstrated extraordinary intelligence. His early mentors, Atar and Sunay, were very famous poets. Atar once looked at his father, followed by Rumi, and said, "Look at the sea, followed by an ocean." Now the incidents that changed his life altogether and made him a universal poet of the world. Here's the surprise number one. After this incident, he was so influential. According to BBC, he is the bestseller poet in United States. There was a man known as Shams Tabriz, a disciple in a scholarly school, whose mission was to convey the knowledge he was given to a person known as Rumi. When he came to his city, he listened to Maulana Rumi's lecture. There incidents took place. A woman who was a prostitute by profession and not by choice, perhaps by circumstances, was very much influenced by Rumi's poetry and was listening to him in his lectures, trying to change her life for the purification. But a law person who was willing to sleep with her was not happy because she declined, hoping to change her life. What he did is angered the mob against her, and they started to stone her and beat her, telling her to get out of this purified place. Outside the mosque, this beating and torture was not tolerated by the person called Shams Tabriz, who was there at that time. He was the one who saved her, protected her, and gave her shelter. Here's a lesson: don't judge people. As Rumi himself said, a person who exhibits his goods and evil strengths and weaknesses is not flawed, he is complete. The Sufi believe that everyone has a potential to become purified, as in his or her roots there is love and spirituality, alive in a vacuum, craving for peace and love. Here's a test for you. Look around you. The people who are religious are fighting with each other, and people who are in love with nature, with spirituality, are in love with the whole humanity. Simple question: why would God give birth to a person into a religion that he hates and punish him for that? It's not that. Deep inside, everyone has a common soul. Now for the surprise. Hope you will try to comprehend and understand it. You've heard of Madonna, the singer. Her life was about crash, trying to find love in things and places where love is not there, but there she found only lust. Now, under the influence of another healer, Deepak Chopra, she is singing the poetry of Maulana Rumi, followed by other celebrities also. As Maulana Rumi says, many of the faults that you see in others is your own image reflection in them. So what did Shams Tabriz teach him? As Maulana himself says, yesterday I was clever and wanted to change others. Today I am wise. I want to change myself. Yes, my friends, change yourself and you change the universe around you. Sometimes you cannot change the people, but how you perceive them will change your life and perhaps theirs too. Shams Tabriz went to him while he was working as usual in deep concentration. Shams disturbed him and asked, "What are these?" pointing at his books. Rumi, being polite and a patient man, tried a simple and short answer. He said, "Something which is beyond your knowledge." As Rumi lost the sight of his working place, Shams Tabriz threw all his work of books, poetries, and healing text into the pond of water. Ink was spilled in water, and all the writing and scriptures were gone forever. When Rumi realized, he said, "What have you done? You have ruined all my life's work." Listening to that, Shams Tabriz picked up the book from the water, gave him back, and they were dried as they were new, all writings preserved as if untouched. Astonished as he can be, Rumi asked, "What is this?" And Shams Tabriz cleverly said, "Something which is beyond your knowledge." Beyond that day, he and Shams became very deep friends, and Shams became his mentor. Although he was not that presentable and people didn't like him, but that was a secret treasure hidden inside the heart of the man. Rumi and Shams used to sit in the library meditating, as if transferring the knowledge from Shams to Rumi, and they became so attached, Rumi's wife had to give them food in their library. What he saw in Shams Tabriz was reflected in his saying, "If you're looking for a friend who is flawless, you will be friendless." He also said, "Only the lasting beauty is the beauty of the heart." Now here's a test for you. These miracles books, the transfer of knowledge, wonder if these miracles were used to propagate the truth or religion. No, that didn't work. It used to work in the era of Jesus Christ, the very powerful, the miraculous messenger of God. But today, men are clever. From the religion scriptures of Rumi, that is Islam, we have learned that Muhammad, the last prophet, split the moon in two halves to show his truthfulness. But what people said was, "This is magic." And the prophet said, "Magic does not work on the moon." And moon is so far and distant, like any other media that we see in manipulation. It cannot be touched. It cannot be manipulated. It cannot be hidden. Perhaps there is a secret on the craters and the shapes of the moon. Let's wait for that, and let's search and research the faces on the moon. So after the moon incident, the miracles that we see are not for propagation of truth, but to help others with deep poetry, writings, sayings, the aura, the influence, peace, and sheer truth. And that is why these miracles changed the poetry of Rumi, not the people's mind, how this miracle worked, because they would have again said, "This is hypnosis, this is magic, this is a trickery." So now he was a universal poet, as he himself said, "I looked for God. I went to temple, but didn't find him there. I went to mosque, but didn't find him there. I went to church, but didn't find him there. And then I finally looked into my heart, and there he was." Now in the journey, he influenced so many people that people from all the religions and the leaders came to him, as he did not judge. He says, "Beyond the rightness and wrongness of things, There is a field. I'll meet you there. I am the Lord, and there is no other God. Famous big stars. But people are still arguing why he has to be white when Rumi was not white, which is palm down, means giving